From the headquarters of Boltec in the Dutch city of Maden, welcome to the first episode of Champions League of Bowling. 3 national Premier League champion teams from the Netherlands, Denmark and a combined Greek-German team compete with each other on an international level. In this first episode, the Danes are playing against the Dutch. Let's meet our friends from Denmark. They call themselves Team Trekanten. And also introduce our special reporter Jessica Thomas, who talks to their frontman Tim Stampe.
Hi Tim, so you are the frontman for Team Trekanten. Can you tell us a little bit about how you prepared for this match?
We've been doing a lot of training, practice for this, been playing a bit in Tilburg, the EBT, and then talking a lot. If we see something on the lanes, we talk about that and learn from each other.
And what will be your keys to success to win?
I hope it's our team spirit. Our team spirit has been quite a big thing for us through the past years. So I hope that will bring something to us this year.
And the Danes are playing against the Dutch Ordonnans team. They want to win, of course, in their own country. Jessica Thomas is checking out the nerves of frontman Johnny Spiel.
You're going to bowl your first match against Trekanten from Denmark. What are your expectations from your opponent?
I think Denmark is always a really good team, also with European championships. So I think they will gonna play pretty well. Since we have a short format, just 5 frames, everything is possible. And we're just with guys who always make a lot of fun and are pretty relaxed. So I hope that's the key to success.
And we're off. Welcome Elko Gorter, member of the board of the Dutch Bowling Federation. Elko, could you tell us something more about the format we're playing?
As Johnny already said, we're playing a short format, and it's the current frame scoring system, which means 30 points for a strike, which Tim Stampe throws on the first shot straight away, 30 points.
Good start.
We play 5 frames, so each bowler plays 1 shot, and the maximum score is 150 points. And let's hope we can see some maximum scores today.
Yeah, the Dutch have to keep up with the first strike of Team Trekanten. And they do.
Great shot from Jeroen. Team Ordonnans, long-time top team in the Netherlands. And they are the current champions from the Netherlands Eredivisie. So
they are the real champion for the National Premier League. And therefore a good team to be here on this tournament, I guess.
Yeah.
Just like the Danes, they're doing pretty well. Second strike.
Anders Lausdahl, Trekanten, a big name in Danish bowling. And we see those players on a lot of European tournaments. So, they start perfect. 2 strikes, 60 points. And now we see Taco Verhoef. High flush for another strike. So we're off to a good start, both teams. And Taco has a bit of a unique style. He's left-handed as well, but he throws really good. I think he has like 5 perfect games in his career already. So here we see Jan, one of the older players from the Danish team.
Ooh!
Jan leaves 10-pin, and maybe we can tell a bit about the scoring format now. 9 pins counts as 9. But if he makes the spare, it will be 19.
Then we add 10 points to the first score at the first shot.
Yeah.
And he does, so that's 19 points now, as you can see on the scoreboard.
7 spare will be 17 points, and 5 spare will be 15 points.
That he does the 9 spare, so 19 points for him.
This is Kenneth. Kenneth is, I think, the youngest player on this TV show. And he played the European Youth Championships this year. And he made the Masters, so young talent, and he starts off with a really nice strike.
Perfect shot for Kenneth Ramos as well, so that's the 3rd strike in a row for the Dutch team.
Yeah, Ordonnans looking to make it a perfect game and start well in this match against the Danish champions. Stefan Tang, thinks a bit different now. He wants to put the pressure on the Dutch. Another strike, so there's still a chance for Trekanten to win the first match, the first game.
And we're playing best of 5, right? So the team has to win 3 games.
Yeah, you have to win 3 5-frame games. And Johnny Spiel shows another perfect strike for Ordonnans, so they keep the early lead. And
it's the ultimate score so far now, 120 points after 4 shots.
4 shots, yeah, 4 frames.
4 frames.
Yeah, so now we see Tim Stamper's older brother, Mick. Mick is a long-time member of the Danish team. And he needs to strike to put some pressure on Ordonnans.
And he does.
And he does. Perfect shot again. So now the last player from Ordonnans has to strike to win the game. If it's a 9 spare, he will tie, and anything less will be a loss for Ordonnans. So you start with 4 perfect strikes, and you still can lose this match.
Some pressure for Jork van Deutenkom. There he goes. And
8.
that means an 8.
Yeah, so they can get to 138 at this point. So that means Trekanten wins the first match.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they.
It's quite an exciting format because you think that the Dutch, they win quite easily, but
Yeah.
slightly the chances are changed in the last frame.
Yeah, this
as
is
we can see.
Yeah.
Team Trekanten, they win by 1 pin, 139 for them and 138 for the Dutch. So it's 1-0 for Denmark. Time for the second game for Team Trekanten against Team Ordonnans.
Yeah, you see Jeroen. You see he's a 5-time winner of the Dutch Championship. And he also won a lot of medals in the youth categories. And he has 9 perfect games. And he's been one of the star players from Ordonnans the last couple of years. And he starts with a 4-pin, a little bit high shot. And normally this would be an easy spare for Jeroen. So
no
19
strike for him, so
No.
9 spare means 19 points to start with for the Dutch.
Yeah, it's the short format makes it that every mistake can mean you lose a game. So I think
That's
we
the
talked
right
to a couple of
conclusion.
we talked to a couple of the players after at this tournament, and they say the pressure is so high that you need to perform every shot. So here goes Tim, and he goes through the face, and he leaves the 6-10, which he can spare normally. He probably will change bowling balls now. He switches from his reactive ball to a spare ball, or a urethane ball in this case, and he makes a spare. So Ordonnans 1 point ahead at this point after 1 frame, but as we saw the last match, or the last game, it can go really quick. So here's Taco again.
Taco Verhoef for the Dutch Ordonnans team from the city of Spijkenisse.
Yeah, oh, and he goes pretty good shot, so we can see in the replay. A little bit too high, and the ball moves past the 8-pin, and the 8-pin stands. Yeah.
Immediately you lose at least 10 points when you do not throw a strike.
Yeah. It's really quick, and I think that makes this format a lot of fun for the teams.
It is also fun to watch because it's a high-speed format, I think.
Yeah, bowling can be a long time. You can be a long time in the bowling center watching bowling, but this is a quicker format, and especially for the good teams, they feed off each other and they try to make each other better, and they love the pressure of this quick format. And you see here Anders is a really talented player, and he strikes and he's happy. He wants to win.
No strike so far in this second game for the Dutch. Already 9 pin.
Yeah, another pretty good shot from Kenneth. They had the last 2 shots were pretty good on the left lane. Seems to be a bit tougher the left lane for the guys to carry and get strikes. So Kenneth just needs to pick up this spare and hope they will get another chance from Trekanten to get back in this game, which they probably need to win, because if you go 2-0 down, it's probably tough to come back and win.
It is. You're playing best of 5. This is a terrible split, right?
Yeah, this is it's probably going to be. And as we hear one of the Danish players say, "Take 2, Jan." That's what they said. So my Danish is not that good, but I think it's gonna.
Is it technically possible to make a spare now?
It is, but at this point they should take 2 pins.
No, it
and
does not.
if they take 2 pins, they are only 1 pin behind Ordonnans and keeps them in the game. If they miss them all, they're further behind, which makes it more difficult to even to go and win. So Johnny, just an open frame from Trekanten last ball. So Johnny needs to put the pressure on.
And he does. A
And he
strike
does.
for Johnny Spill. So the Dutch are on 87 right now.
Yeah, they take the lead, and his strike means that Jorik, if he strikes, they win anyway. So they give their last man a position to win the match. So this is always good. Let's have a look if Stefan can put pressure back on Jorik. Jorik, who in the last game made a mistake in the 5th frame.
It is.
So if Stefan strikes, they...
Nothing is decided until the last frame.
No.
Quite exciting now. 87 for the Dutch, 86 for the Danes.
Yeah, so you see the reaction.
But if the Dutch throw a strike right now, then they win this game.
Yeah, you see Jorik, he's a European youth champion from 2015 and has won several medals at the youth level, and he strikes.
Well done, Jorik.
So that means 1 game all.
1 game all. The Danes cannot win this game anymore, so
no. So
well done for Jorik.
Yeah, we're gonna see Mick on the right lane. He maybe he's trying something now to see what happens. Some transition on the lanes.
But the Danes know that they cannot win this game, so
no, it doesn't really.
It will be 1 even after 2 games. There he goes. He spares the ball, so 105 for the Danish Trekanten team and 117 for the Dutch Ordonnans. They win. Let's go to Cheska Thomas to check out some reactions of our players.
You guys won the first game pretty easily, but in the second game there was a split in the 3rd frame and you unfortunately lost that game. What will you do after the break to ensure that you will bounce back?
Yeah, we struggled during the transition, so we talked about what we can do on the lanes, and then we moved and we kind of solved the lanes in the last game.
And what exactly are you going to change?
Now we are going to be ahead of the transition, so trying to get left quick enough. So we don't get behind the transition.
It was a very tight match in the beginning. Can you tell me if you were nervous for the last frame?
Well, I was not really nervous, but I just hit it too far on the outside and there's a lot of friction on the outside, so it just hooked a lot and I didn't really expect it to be hooking that much. So,
did you change anything to win the second game?
Yeah, I moved in and got a pretty good shot and I struck out, so that's pretty good.
There is a great side event during this series of programs. It's called Hyperbowling. Hyperbowling combines the fun of bowling with video game-like technology to create an action-packed and fun new way to bowl where there are no more gutter balls. Hit the colorful targets on the bumper to multiply your score. Each pin knocked down is 100 points, and by hitting the colored bumper, these points will be multiplied. But beware, hit anything red and your score will be 0. Let's watch how the pros do it. And we start off with our Greek-German team who will kick off this great match. First player is George Stefanidis and he hits the red zone, so no points for him to start. There's only 1 ball to play, so just 1 chance to make a good score. Next player is Claudia Savicki, our German lady. And she hits the green multiplier, which doubles her score. Each pin down is 100 points times 10. She strikes with 1,000 and the green multiplier makes it 2,000 points. Well done, Claudia. Next player is Vasilis Stefopoulos. Too bad for him because he hits the red zone, so no points for him. It doesn't matter how many pins you throw down. Once you hit the red, your score will be bad. Pascal Winterheimer is our next player. And he hits the blue zone, which triples his score. 9 pins down means 900 times 3 is 2,700 points. Total now for the German-Greek team, 4,700 points. Last player for the Greek-German team is Oliver Morik. Concentration on his face. And there he goes. And he hits the yellow zone, which is the jackpot with the 5 times multiplier. 8 pins down means 800 points times 5 is 4,000 points for Oliver. Total score of 8,700 points for the Greek-German team, and in the next episodes, the Danes and the Dutch will play their match in this exciting game of Hyperbowling. Now let's go back to the 3rd game between these 2 teams in Champions League of Bowling. And we're back in the game. The Danish Trekanten team and the Dutch Ordonnans team are playing against each other in the first episode of Champions League of Bowling. It's 1-1, so that means we play at least two more games, right, Elko?
Yeah, the best of 5 format, so you need to win 3 games to win the match. And it's 1-1, so the Danes want to put the pressure back on Team Ordonnans and Tim starts with a good strike. So Jeroen keeps on starting for Team Ordonnans. I think they did a lineup change, so we'll see that later on. And Jeroen, another strike for the number 1 player.
That's a good question. Do the players have to play in a certain order, or can you decide for yourself as a team?
They can decide in which order they want to play, and they can switch it after every game if they want to. So the Danes keep the same format. It's Anders, and Anders leaves a tough split, the 4-6-10. And as we saw earlier with Jan, that's normally not an easy spare. So he'll probably go for 2 pins to keep the count as high as possible. And then they will hope that Team Ordonnans makes a mistake later on in the game, which can put them back. But this is already a big opening for Ordonnans.
Each mistake counts.
So that's the point. We see Taco. Taco, already 4-time winner of the Dutch team championship, and he won the Lucky 7 tournament. And Lucky 7 tournament is a tournament I like to play myself. It's a one of the bigger tournaments in Holland, and a really good scratch tournament we play in Emmen. And Taco won that once, so it's one of his proud achievements.
And Taco does what he has to do with throwing
another strike. He left a really harsh 8-pin on the left lane. Now he's back on the right lane and he strikes again. So we see Jan. And really like that one, and they strike. So they bounce back from the open frame. And you see the ball going through the pins beautifully, and no chance to keep anything standing over there. So back to Kenneth, one of the younger talents in Holland. Really good left-hander, really good stroke, and lovely ball
Kenneth.
reaction. Yeah.
Three strikes in a row for the Dutch team Ordonnans. They are on 90 points at this moment in the game. 69 for Team Trekanten, so put some pressure on Stefan Tang Petersen.
Yeah, Stefan needs a strike, and they need to strike out Trekanten and they hope Ordonnans makes a mistake. And they know it. You see the reaction of the players. They all stand up and celebrate the 7th strike. Bit of a light hit, but the 5-pin falls to the left, which is good. And that's 30 points for Denmark, for Trekanten in this point. So Johnny knows if he strikes here, then he will give his teammate, who's going to finish Jorik, a good chance to win the match, to win the game, and get ahead in the match 2-1.
Concentration on his face. There he goes. And he does it 4 in a row for Team Ordonnans.
Again 4 in a row. They started with 4 in a row the first game and didn't win.
Of
so
course,
there's still a chance they don't win this match. So
exactly.
It's going to be close. Johnny, bit of a high hit.
We're not there yet.
No. In this format, anything can happen. We're going to see that. We saw it already, and we're going to see it a lot more. So this is Mick, and he strikes, and he knows now. Jorik knows what he needs to do. He needs to get a spare at least.
At least a spare.
Yeah, to win this game. So if he strikes, they win, and if anything less than that, he needs to spare it. So we're going to see what happens.
Jorik van Deutenkom, will they make a perfect game?
It's a bit better shot.
And he does not. Ooh. So it's only 9 pins.
Yeah, that means...
they're even now on 129.
Yeah, so that means Jorik needs to spare the 7 pin.
He needs to spare this pin. Then we will add 10 points to the score, and then the Dutch will win this game.
That's
Otherwise,
true.
we will have a roll-off.
We have a one-ball roll-off between 2 players.
But he scores it. Well done, Team Ordonnans.
His teammates weren't sure. They said hook. The ball needed to hook a bit.
The Dutch win this 3rd game. It's 2-1 for the Dutch Ordonnans team and Team Trekanten. Let's go for the 4th game.
So it's game number 4. Ordonnans 2-1 ahead, so they can win the match now. They can get to 3 points. So Jeroen starts with a strike again. He's been really good this match so far, striking on a lot of first shots, every first shot to be fair, and then it makes the work for his team a lot easier. Ooh, Tim. Ball goes a bit high. Lanes start hooking a lot more. You see the players go more and more deeper. They go deeper and deeper on the lane. They go more left, and they need to get the ball to the right.
Oh,
and,
look at his face! Look at that expression.
Yeah, he didn't like it. He thought it was good, and the ball hooked on him. So he needs to spare this.
Otherwise,
change to spare ball again,
yeah.
and he picks it up.
8 spare means 18 points.
Yeah.
In this fourth game, and if the Dutch Ordonnans team will win this game, then the Dutch are the winners of the first episode of Champions League of Bowling.
Yeah, that's true. Here goes Taco. Left an 8-pin the last shot on this lane, so he try maybe do something different. No, great shot. Strikes again, and they take an early lead in this game. So they have the lead in total games, and they take the lead now. So more pressure on Trekanten. But as Johnny said before, Danish players are great players, and they used to a lot of pressure. So maybe they can come back. Anders, pretty good shot. At least a 10-pin.
We can say that we picked the best players from each nation, right?
Yeah, it's a good format, and a lot of good players wanted to play this. And we certainly go and try and grow it next year to get more teams from Europe to come play this tournament.
This whole competition is about 3 fantastic nations, not just only the Dutch team Ordonnans and the Danish team Trekanten, also the Greek-German combination DBU Civicidis. We will see them in the second episode of Champions League of Bowling. So each nation competes to the other 2.
Yeah. So we get three matches in total, and we got the Hyperbowling competition as well.
Hyperbowling competition was very exciting with the Greek-German.
So Kenneth...
checking out Kenneth Ramos. No strike for him so far, but he spares it, which means 18 points to the scoreboard.
Yeah, he left. This ball was a bit far to the left, the first ball, and he picks up the spare. So 18 points. But as we saw before, every little mistake can end up in disaster. So here comes the Danes, and Jan, one of the more experienced players from Denmark, he throws a strike, and they try and get back into this game. Johnny won a very good bronze medal in the Masters at the European Championship in 2016. And there's a lot of national championships and a lot of international experience as well. He plays a lot for the national team, and he's a great bowler. And he throws a strike here to get his team in position to win the match.
Only 1 frame left for the Dutch to win this episode of Champions League of Bowling, and you can see the concentration on the faces of the Danes.
Yeah, the Danes need to strike out now to win this match, to make any chance.
To keep up the score, and they do, 97 against 108.
Yeah, Stefan Tang, really good shot. He knows he needs to strike to keep his team in the match, and he liked it, and the 10-pin falls down.
When the Dutch make a strike right now, then they win this episode, right?
That's true. If York strikes, they win. Anything less than a strike, he gives the Danes a chance. Oh! 10-pin for Yorick. You see they move a lot. They move left on the lane. You see where Yorick's feet are completely left.
What does this mean for the scoreboard, Elko?
If he spares, we can have a possibility of a roll-off. If he spares it and Tim strikes, we will have a tie.
Absolutely needs to spare this. He does, and the end score of the fourth game is 127.
Yeah.
As you can see, 97 for the Danes. If they strike, then we will have a tie.
And we will have a tie. You see Mick. Mick as a European champion.
He needs to make a strike to keep up in the game.
Yeah. Have a look. Oh.
And he does, which means that we have a tie. 127 for both teams. What happens now, Elko?
We will have a 1-ball roll-off, so one player of each team will have 1 ball, and the highest score counts. So it's not 30 points or 19 points. It's 1 ball. So
just 1 ball.
10 points or 9 points. So Jeroen
we
plays
start
for
up with the
Ordonnans.
Dutch. Ooh, 9.
Creeps a bit high, that ball, and leaves a 4-pin. You see Johnny's reaction there. He doesn't like it. He knows the Danes will pick someone to play this shot.
9 pins for the Dutch. So
I think it will be Mick, as we saw earlier on. Mick is a European champion and has won a couple of EBT tournaments.
if he strikes this ball, then the Danes will win the 4th game, right?
Yeah, if they strikes, they win. If it's 9, we will have another roll-off. And if it's more than...
This is just amazing. Great shot. You see the relief for the Danes. They win this 4th game, which means that on the scoreboard it's 2 even. We will play the 5th game, the final game, in this first episode of Champions League of Bowling.
Yeah, such an exciting end to the 4th game. Mick threw a great shot and the best shot he could throw, and it struck. So Trekanten starts this game, and they start with a 9-pin. Tim's ball a little bit too high. You see the ball go to the left side of the 9-pin of the 9-pin, which he should normally hit with the ball. So he needs to pick up the spare. And he changed to his spare ball. You see a black urethane which he's using. And he
misses.
he just he throws it too far to the right.
That's
that's
an expensive mistake.
He knew it.
It might be an expensive mistake.
He knew it already when he left his hand. He thought it wasn't good. So we'll see if Jeroen can capitalize on this chance. He doesn't.
What happens here?
Yeah, you see the lanes start hooking more and more, and the players have trouble getting the ball at the right point to get the ball through the pins the right way to get strikes. And Jeroen's ball just hooks too early and goes, we call it through the nose, and he leaves the big split, and he's probably going for 2 pins now.
Interesting start of this final game.
Yeah, but still a tie, so both teams.
It's amazing.
Both teams still have a good chance to win this, but it's you see the lanes changing a little bit now, and players have a little bit of trouble adjusting at this point.
It might have something to do if they get exhausted, maybe, playing 5 games in this format. It's quite intense to play like
It is
this.
intense, but I think it's more of the bright lights on the lanes and the playing on the lanes, which move the oil around, and probably forces them to go more left. But the Danes are masters in going left and adjusting, and that's they play as a team. They know what to do, and they help each other out. And Anders had a really good shot.
You're very familiar with all the players from the international countries we see in this series of programs. You know the Danes, you know the Dutch, of course. Is there a significant difference in technique, how the Danes play and how the Dutch play?
No, not really, but I think the Danes have more competition in their country. So there are a lot of good players in Denmark, and they play a lot in Sweden, where there's a lot of good players. So they're used to harsh competition. And when Taco misses his spare.
It's an interesting development in this final game.
This could prove to be very expensive now, because the Danes are not people to give chances. You see, Jan made his debut in the Danish team at age 47. That is really good. And he strikes. That's really a good achievement, because the Danes always have talented young players. So if you make the team at age 47, that means you need to be really good, and he shows it here. Strike. So now Kenneth needs to strike. The Dutch need to rally to get back. Pretty good shot. Bit high, 10 pin. He needs to spare it, but already.
There's a great distance between the scoreboards, as we see.
Yeah, the maximum score for the Dutch is only 97 now, if he spares it, and the Danes are already at 69. So one strike will seal the deal already. So that's going to be a quick match if Stefan Tang Petersen gets a strike
already
now.
In the 4th frame. The Danes can make the decision already.
Yeah, they can win this match.
If they throw a strike right now, it's done.
Yeah. For the Dutch to win, they need to have 2 open frames, and
I see, because you can only add 60 more points to the Dutch score, which is 97.
Yeah.
And the Danes can make 99 right now.
Oh,
they do! Oh my God, this is just amazing, exciting. And they know it.
Not a really good shot, but
in this phase of the game, we see the Danes already take the win.
That could have been everything. It's not his best shot, probably, but he gets a strike, and that's 30 points, and the Danes win this match.
The Dutch know it.
Yeah, Johnny strikes, but it's only for Yeah, for form.
Just for fun.
Yeah, probably. So,
And that means that the Danes win this first episode of Champions League of Bowling. They already know it. The final frame for the Dutch, and I see our special reporter Cheska Thomas walks up through the lanes to talk to the players. Thank you, Elko, for this first episode. We will talk to each other the next episode. Let's go to Cheska Thomas and check out the reaction. The Danes win 3-2. Congratulations to Denmark.
Congratulations on the win. It was a pretty exciting match, especially the roll-off. Can you tell me a little bit more about the roll-off and how your nerves were at that moment?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, and luckily for us, their last guy didn't strike, so we had the chance. So it's kind of like we got a shot at it, and I was lucky enough to strike both times. So that was pretty cool. That was awesome.
Unfortunately, you lost the first match against Team Trekanten. What are you going to do against Team Germany to win from them?
Obviously, we're going to try to not to miss any single pin spares, because that is key. Furthermore, we hope to have some strikes in the early frames, so we can have some pressure on the German team, and hope they will crack up under the pressure.
So we are bowling a new format for this tournament. What do you think about it? It's 5 frames, and it's different from the traditional way of bowling. Can you explain to me what you think about this?
I think it's a new, exciting format for sure. If you make a mistake, it's immediately killing for you as a team. But the format is nice and quick, and I hope a lot of non-bowling viewers can enjoy this fast type of Champions League that we are now playing. So let's hope we can see some more of this in the future.
I think it's very cool. It's very intense. It's like every shot count. I felt like every time we had an 8 or a 9, we actually was a little bit behind. So it was really cool and very intense. So I like it.
Would you like to bowl this more often?
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome, actually.
In the next episode of Champions League of Bowling, the Dutch will play against the German-Greek team, and we're checking out the Danish team in their Hyperbowling match. See you then!